We had a lot on tap today. We had the kids came with me, Ollie and Addie. Amy was working hard in the barn when I had to go to the meadows to race Crantini and electric line. So I just threw the kids in the car. I said, hey, get in the car and we'll go to the meadows. You guys can hang out with me. We'll get a bite to eat on the way home, and we're almost home now. Head home afterwards. Give Mom a break. Let her relax this afternoon.
Well, not really, because we will swim off.
And still, this time of year, Amy always gets stressed out because, the new horses, we're trying to get them squared away. But the added wrinkle every year is the new people you bring on. So watching everybody, making sure everybody's doing their job right, looking for input from them if there's something they need help with. It doesn't always work out. We end up having to look at a couple of people that we talk to and say, hey, this is how you have done it, or doing it, this is how we'd like it done. And it's just a little added wrinkle of stress this time of year. So if I can take any stress off her shoulders, and she always puts as much on as she can, so if I can take any off hers, then I'm happy too. So I took the kids and went to the meadows. Now today was a lot of fun, but a little weird. Raced in the mud for most of the night last night, and then I got up today and there was snow. But what I didn't realize is there was like a light mist all evening long, I believe, until it finally just snapped and froze, which put a layer of ice, just a crust of ice on everything. The horses were slipping around a little bit. We really couldn't start training until 9 o'clock. Now, I knew that I had to get on the track at 8 if I was going to get the 4 sets in easily that I had to get in. Didn't get on the track till 9 o'clock, so I had to miss the last set. I had Jason go with Green Glitter, who I knew would be good, but she was good. I went with a few horses. I was going to bring the whole list to you, but we'll do that tomorrow. Amy and I will talk about the 2 days of baby training tomorrow, leading up to Tuesday. We're going with everybody on Tuesday, and then before that, Saturday, hopefully. I haven't heard back from Curtis yet, but hopefully Saturday is okay for him also. So, went with the babies today. I was happy with them. Went over to the meadows. Now, I was in a hurry because I kind of felt bad. I didn't get there to go last trip with Carter yesterday, and I felt, had I gone last trip with Carter, we maybe could have made the necessary changes to avert that break yesterday. That was my feeling. But looking back on it, I think the biggest key to Carter Michael Dio will be changing his shoes around a little bit to suit him at the meadows. That's going to be a process. So we'll see how that plays out next week. That will start. We'll see how that plays out. But I wanted to get there today. Electric line, I knew we were probably going to put them in the sale, and I did want to talk about the horses we have in the sale. Starting on Monday, we have 8 that I've entered, and a couple I'm really torn on. One of them in particular, I think there's a better than good chance we'll probably buy that one back. But I just thought there was a valid reason to put them up, and there was more than enough reasons not to. But we'll get to those horses in a second. Electric Line was on that list. Made breaks this whole time training down. Made breaks in Ontario. Harry told me he had speed, but I had sat behind him in a long time. So today was the first time I was going to see him. I warmed him up. We did make some changes to his gear. I told Tim, geez, it'd be nice to get this guy around, he's in the sale on Monday. But I told you guys I'm likely never going to change. I'm always going to go for the end zone. I'm always going to try and win. And although Electric Line didn't warm up great, warmed up okay, if the changes we made to his equipment in the warm-up helped, I was mildly confident we could get him around comfortably. Let's see how the race plays out. Never been on the front before, this horse, ever. Not even training, I don't think, maybe once. But I saw an opportunity. Justin Walters had made front. I knew he was like 5 or 6 or 7 to 1. I knew they bet us down, but those were, inflated or deflated odds, however you want to look at it. Looking at the program I was looking at, Electric Line should have been 10 to 1. 58 at Mohawk is not a hell of a lot. And all the X's on his card, 10 to 1. Opens up at 7 to 2 and lands on 5 to 2. Might have went away the favorite, or at least the second favorite. But nobody else knows what I know about him on the track. So I'm just going to see how the race plays out. We're going around the first turn. I had to nurse him through the first turn, but he allowed me to. He was smart about it. We come out of the first turn. He'd been pacing the straightaways good, and I saw an opportunity. I saw Justin just kind of glance over his shoulders to see if anyone was coming. So that made me believe that maybe he was a little vulnerable on the front. Maybe he didn't really care to cut the mile if he had to, or not, or he'd rather not. And again, I'm 5-2. And I know I waited so he could get a good look at the TV. One, he knows I'm coming, and two, you look just to the top of the TV, you'll see that I'm 5-2. I come, I clear to the front, I get there just in time to settle him back down before we get to the next turn. He didn't really do that bad. He hit a gear a little bit. Down the backstretch, I know the gentleman came 100 on the outside, but his horse got an open bridle on. I let him get halfway by me. Electric Line wanted to fight, but he'd done this his whole life. He'd let you allow him to overpace himself. His racing mentality is a lot like my driving mentality sometimes. Aggression first, throw caution to the wind and hope it works out sometimes. And when it came to Electric Line, but he was smart about it today. Halfway down the backstretch, that horse had finished his advance. He wasn't going any further at that point. So all I had to do was keep him at bay. We get into the turn, he put a couple of steps in, we get into the turn, but he was smart enough again to let me settle him down. As we get through the turn, I have a big hold on Electric Line. I know I'm a winner if I can get to the wire as is. I know I am. We come out of the turn, I just gave him his head a little bit, and just paced away from them. It was a very, very easy win, but we were lucky to get to where we were. Get to the front, at the 3/8 pole. Shh, Addy Bear, stop all. So I was very, very happy with Electric Line the way he raced today. He is in the sale on Monday. I guess the argument is, yes, he's going to be a nice little overnight horse. He'll do somebody some good. He's not a stake horse. Not that I can see. There's nothing wrong with that. A useful horse right now, for somebody in southern Ohio that wants to race this horse at Miami Valley in the maiden claimer, I think if his confidence grows from what I saw today, it's full speed ahead for this guy. So Electric Line won, and then Crantini did everything right again today. Did everything right. Showed a couple of flecks of blood in the scope after, a little bit of mucus. But Tim said that his feet were hurting him quite a bit. Now, I know that he's no good with flip-flops on. No good. We tried him at 2, disaster. Trained him down a little bit at 3, disaster with the flip-flops on. But when he did wear training down, now he couldn't wear them for a long time with the bars that we've been wearing. The shoe of the month or something, whatever Amy said or Mark James said. He did wear mushroom bars training down. Now, I want to double check with Amy, but I'm pretty sure he wore them training down. We qualified him, sent him down there, and Megan took them off. But again, at that point, Megan had him under control. His feet were good. His feet are a little sore right now, Tim had said. Now that may sound stupid to you when I say this, but that will in some cases cause horses to bleed. Again, that stress level, you got to keep it down, especially for a horse like Crantini in any situation. You got to keep that stress level down. Now, there's a number of voices in my head. Is he a little bit tired? Possible. Is he going to come forward when you get those shoes on him and get his liver count down? Possible. It's not one way to find out, I think. And again, if my memory serves me, I know Amy will remember. If my memory serves me, he wore mushroom shoes for a little while anyway, for a couple of months. Put those on him, work on his feet, see if we can dry up that bleeding a little bit. Because, to be honest, guys, he's actually as good or better than he's ever been. Management-wise on the track, Tim and Dean have done a great job with this horse. No problem at all going to the gate. 0. I could maybe even get him much closer to the gate next time. But he did his work well. Just didn't do enough of it, that mile 57 and a piece. There's a lot more in there. And if there isn't right now, and it isn't the feet, and it isn't the liver, and it isn't the bleeding, I might just need to rest. So we'll see. There's a lot going on with Crantini, but again, not disappointed at all. He did his work. He did his work perfectly. Very, very happy with the way that with the way Crantini did his work. Attitude-wise, this is how we wanted to see him finish up his 2-year-old year, come back at 3 with this somewhat focus. He was as good as he's been today, mentally. So we'll work on the problems we know we have. We have a little issue with his feet. The liver is still coming down, and of course now we have these few flecks of blood. I think there's a puzzle to be put together here, and once we get it finished, I think that if Crantini continues to mentally mature like he has in the last few weeks, I think we could have that horse that I hoped we would. There's nothing holding him back now. He raced very well from behind. Was hoping to pick up some cover today and ended up in the first overpath, and he got tired. But again, feet, liver, a little bit of bleeding. Let's work on those, and then we'll see what kind of picture we can paint with Crantini. So I was happy the way everything went so far today in regards to those horses. I know we have Collector tonight. I'm eagerly awaiting that race also. Very happy with the way things have gone the latter part of the week. I get down in the dumps and you start second guessing yourself. But that's what happens when you go on the track with longer odds horses. Put me on the track with horses that have a chance. Electric Line might have been 5-2, but he was not a 5-2 horse. I put him in a position to win. He was good enough to win, and he got the job done. Same as Walter's Keepsake. Continue to race horses that are in good spots, and you'll continue to have good luck. And that is part and parcel of what I'm about to tell you with the sale on Monday. Some of these horses are surprising. Some of them are not. All gas, no brakes. Didn't get in for 2 weeks in a row. Somebody actually messaged me and asked if we'd sell them for the claiming price, which I guess we would have. Why wouldn't we? Could be claimed. The class didn't go, and the deal fell apart. That's the way it is. That shouldn't change his worth. I suspect he's probably worth $38,000 to $42,000 US. He's a nice horse. He took a mark of 57 as a 2-year-old at Northfield Park, so he can get around a half. He's a big, strong bugger, but he gets around a half. Again, as Yonkers starts to open, I suspect there should be some horses that would be very interesting to people at Yonkers, and All Gas, No Brakes would be one of them, I would think. So he's in there, but again, not really that interested in just giving him away. More interested in seeing what our options are, as it appears that Mohawk is struggling to fill that class right now. They had 8 and 9 horses the last two times it went. Where the hell did they go? So we'll see how this plays out over the next week or so. Secondly, Electric Line. You guys can tell why Electric Line was on there, because of the way he raced in Ontario, but I believe he should have put some value into himself today, the way he raced. Not really what we're looking for. He's going to race in numbers 1, numbers 2 at the Meadows. But again, being an Ohio bred, Southern Ohio, and that maiden claimer, that mile today, no doubt in my mind, he paced 56, I think, and that would have to get him in the maiden or maiden claimer doing okay in Ohio. And who knows in Southern Ohio? They're going for such high money. Again, I can make a case why we would sell him, and make a case for somebody, as I said, down in Miami Valley, why you would buy him. Enzo Guayo, looking for a good mile from him tomorrow. He's done good things. Raced better last week. He's now coming into himself where that liver should be down around the ceiling of acceptable limits tomorrow. I think you're going to see a much better mile from him. Tim and his crew has been very diligent with these livers on the horses. They've done a great job, and Enzo was much better last week. I expect he'll be better tomorrow. But again, getting into that numbers of 4, 5, 6 range, another horse gets around a half good. I keep bringing up Yonkers, but that's where all the money's going to spring from over the next couple of months in North America. Tons of money being dumped into Yonkers, and we have some horses in the next one also. Some horses that should do well at Yonkers. Halakai the third, another filly that did well for us, but again, that non-winner is a 7 claimer that she's been in. Got a little stiff, got a little rigid around the edges. I had one of my partners say, "Hey, can we just try her at the Meadows a few starts?" I get where you're coming from. You want to see her race, but I have to be honest. And I always receive emails, and I received a very long one the other day, virtually telling me how stupid I am. From a frustrated person. But I want everybody to understand when they when you go, and there's nothing wrong with somebody writing me an angry email. There is no way that I can make every one of you happy. That's just human nature, right? You can't make everybody happy. You can only make some people happy. And as long as I'm making you happy, I'm doing my job. Why'd they get dark all of a sudden? Okay. Oh, there it is. So when it comes to personal feelings, of course I can't make all of you happy at the same time, because some people are going to say, yes, Anthony, I would like to sell there's a horse I'm about to talk about that I am really, really torn on. And I may just kibosh the whole thing, and she'd have to bring a lot of money for me to sell her anyway. We'll talk about her in a minute. But it bothers me when, you know, and you can think back of the horses that I've sold over the last year. That sometimes those horses are going to come forward and are going to do good and do better. And I'm only human. I can't know that Commander Tom, he's not on this list. Commando Tom, he's got to be on this list too. No, I'm glad we're doing this because it's not your fault. I forgot to tell him he was on the list. So I got a message Dave back. There's 9 horses. I can't tell when, when we buy a horse that I'm buying a Commando Tom and I'm not buying a all gas. No, he's a horse. I can't tell that I'm buying a Commando Tom and he's not going to turn into all gas, no brakes any more than I can tell you the reciprocal, the opposite. Same as selling horses. I can't sell horses with the absolute confidence that I am 100% correct. All I can do is tell you what I would do if the horses were mine. I say this all the time. And sure, you know who you are. You're not the only person to send me an angry email because I made a mistake, either perceived or otherwise proven. There's plenty of them proven. But all I can do is try and do what I would do best, what I would do for myself. That's the only thing that helps me sleep at night. Because I'm going to be right and I'm going to be wrong. Sometimes you're going to be right and you're going to be wrong. But that's horse racing. That is life. We all come to forks in the road, and I come to them every single day. And if you think that I go down the right path every time, then I appreciate the high regard you hold for me, but it's not accurate. I venture down plenty of paths that are incorrect. Plenty of them. So, I forgot. Commando Tom is going to be going also. I don't think I have to tell you why. Just very displeased with his race last night. He's just not a great horse. Trot's nice, got a nice gait, but he kind of wastes it. Doesn't really want to be a good horse. So he can go be a mediocre horse for someone else. So Halakai the Third, again, another filly that's done well for us, will continue to race well. She's a nice filly, but has run into a tough class. And, you know, it was funny because Ollie loves Gandalf the Black, and I know Kim, one of our partners, loved Gandalf the Black, and many of you did. But maybe what you forget is I loved Gandalf the Black, too.
I'm still mad at you for selling him.
Right? Well, you saw what happened to him today, right? When I went to keep Gandalf the Black, I looked at all the classes, and the one he won last week was tough at the time. It was tough. He couldn't do it. He caught a soft crew last week and won easily. Now he had to go up in class, and he did this week. Little different situation. I'm happy for the gentleman that bought the lady. I can't remember who it was that bought the horse. I like Gandalf. Gandalf deserves a chance to race every week. He's a worker. That doesn't mean we keep him just because he's a worker. So he's going to find some tough places like he did this week, and he did when he went to Yonkers. And hopefully they find a soft spot for him to race, or a place that he can race, because he's a likable horse and he likes his work. So I have no hard feelings. But for the people out there that are angry because he won last week, and that should have been our win. We can't win. In a perfect world, I guess what people think is that they just win until they can't win anymore, and then we sell them, get a lot of money for them, and they immediately do badly for everyone else. It doesn't work that way. You guys know that deep down. So Halakai the Third is a horse that's going to be leaving also. Rito's Lady, I don't think I have to explain even for anybody why Rito's Lady needs to leave. She's just not racing good. I'm not sure she's a good horse. When push comes to shove, does she want to be a good horse? I don't know. But I'm not willing to find out moving forward. So Rito's... What's that? It's not debatable. Rito's Lady is heading out. The next ones are kind of tough. Stay Close. Stay Close is doing well. He's probably going to race again tomorrow, and then he has to go up in the Open, where he's going to find it a little tougher. He has won the Open. He's done well in the Open. He's a nice horse. Is he going to be a nice horse forever? He's going to stay together forever? Is he going to never get tired and race forever? I have no idea. But I am curious to find out what he's worth. You know, so one of our clients said, well, we should just send him down to Dayton. We could. I wasn't really thrilled with the way it turned out last time. We could race him at Northfield. We could send him home. We could keep racing him at the Meadows. Sure, we could. But eventually, we're going to have to turn some of these horses over. and stay close. Although he's racing really good right now, the corks haven't gone on yet for the Meadows. Kings County's going to come back soon to race in the same variation classes at the Meadows, unless we send him down to Dayton. I'm just curious. We'll stay close. You know, you can't go forever. You know, will a change of scenery help him? If somebody buys him and takes him to Yonkers or wherever, you know, will he go forward? Maybe. It's a good horse. We'll see. The next one, I really think of Galaxies. She's picked, I think she's picked for first or second on Saturday night. And to be quite frank with everybody, there's probably a better than good chance that I won't sell her. The problem I had with Think of Galaxies is we had bought her to be a nice horse. She turned out to be a very, very nice horse. Went at 50-2, I think, at Northfield, 50-1 at the Meadows. And virtually very, very, very hard horse to replace. Having said that, the Open Fillies Mares is not filling at the Meadows. By all accounts, it's about to stop filling at Mohawk very soon. And Northfield, she's doing okay, but you win one race, you know, draw the outside, and then get a couple of bad draws. It's tough. It is breeding season. She's very, very well bred. And again, she raced all year also. I don't know that I want to sell Thinking Galaxies, but I'm curious what she's worth. And even though I say things like you can't replace this horse, of course you can. The right horse comes around. I can assure you it's impossible to replace her for what we bought her for. Of that I am absolutely 100% certain. But we'll see. I think of all the nine now I'm going to give you, Think of Galaxies is the one that is a little more unlikely we will sell. War We Yuri, need I say more? I just, you know, I get, as I said, referencing some of the emails, people saying you didn't give this horse enough of a chance, Well, there are some horses we give lots of chances to. 2 years full of chances for War We Yuri. I just assumed he'd come forward. You know, let him grow up, be a bigger, stronger horse, and he'll end up being a nice horse. He didn't. How could a full brother to War We Rue that looks as good as him and trots as nice as him not be a good horse? It just isn't. He just isn't. He's a decent trotter. He'll race somewhere. You know, there'll always be a place for him, Saratoga or Northfield, Meadows, if somebody wants him. Anywhere. He can race anywhere. Race him around the trunk of a tree or the biggest track you want to. He'll race. He's just not a killer. Just a nice horse. So with that, we have 9. Commando Tom, all gas, no brakes, electric line, Enzo Aguayo, Alakai the third, Rito's Lady, be quiet, Ollie. Rito's Lady, Stay Close, Think of Galaxies, and War We Yuri. That's 4, 8, 9. Yeah. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. It was a good day. Hopefully a good day tomorrow. We have Stay Close and Enzo Aguayo, both horses that are slated to win the sale on Monday, are racing tomorrow. We'll see how they do. We'll see how the sale looks on Monday. But every year, this time of year, it's my stress isn't diminished. Every night, it seems I open up an email from somebody telling me the mistakes I've made of the week previous, or potentially the week in front of me. But I do hope that everybody understands. One, any of the information I give you, or in any regard, take it with a grain of salt. That's from my eyes, right? That's my information that I'm giving to you best I can. So take it with a grain of salt, whether it be information about broodmares or yearlings or racehorses or purchases or sales. I can only do the best I can. I think we had a pretty good year in 2023 and leading into 2023. I think we had a great year again ahead of us in 2024. And we're just at the start. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Have a wonderful day. I hope you had a wonderful day. I hope you had a great night. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. Take care.